Unfiltered. Ricky Bo, Bill Colarulo.
97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
A little after 5 o'clock. Remember, it's What Movie Wednesday. We got another one coming up this segment. Before we're joined by our man, Jayson Stark, let me quickly tell you about the deal of the week. You only got a couple more days to get in on it. Make this summer unforgettable at Maury's Piers. Get one same-day ride and water park combo ticket for just $70. That's unlimited rides on all 3 piers and access to both water parks for a whole day. Get this deal now. 975thefanatic.com/deals. All right, let's do what one of my favorite parts of the week is. We'll talk to our man, Jayson Stark. Does an amazing job covering Major League Baseball. Jayson, thanks for joining us, brother.
How are you guys? We got a chance to see something amazing tonight, right?
Oh, yeah, we do. I mean, we were saying it earlier. Sanchez is always must-watch, but, man, is it ever must-watch TV tonight.
It really is. 6 shutout innings to get to 50 shutout innings in a row. That's a number that gives me goosebumps. It really does. It really does. And if you want to go into the stat of the week, I can try to put this in perspective for you.
All right, there we go. Jayson always starts us off with a stat of the week. What do you got for us?
That's right. So let's just set up what he's chasing tonight, okay? If he even throws 2 scoreless tonight, then the only pitchers who would be ahead of him, going back to when earned runs became an official stat, they're all legends. It's Hershiser at 59 innings. It's Drysdale at 58 innings. Then Walter Johnson at 55 2/3, and Bob Gibson at 47. Those would be the only names ahead of him if he even gets to 2 innings. But as we said, if he keeps going and he gets to 50, he's going to be the talk of the sport. I wanted to look at this one more way, and that is he's going for his 6th scoreless start in a row, okay? And the first 5 were all 7 innings or longer. So I thought, let's just take a look back in Phillies history. And it is a really short list of pitchers who had 6 starts like that over a whole season for the Phillies, let alone in a row. Okay, so this is it over the last 60 years. Jim Bunning in 1966. Steve Carlton did it twice, including like the crazy year in 1972. He had 9 of them. Other than that, it's Roy Halladay with 9. That was in 2010. Cliff Lee with 11 in 2011. That's the most in the live ball era for this franchise. And then Zach Wheeler had 6 of them in 2021. But that's it. So just start thinking about who never did this, Ricky, think of all the great pitchers you pitched with. Curt Schilling never did this. You can start ripping through the names. It's amazing. And this guy's going to do 6 in a row if he has another one like it tonight.
This is unreal. It really it's unreal the direction he's going in. And I mean, I'm going to ask you a question because I want to know what you think about this. He just faced the Padres. All right, I think one hitter on that team got a couple good at-bats on him. That was Manny Machado. You think that weighs good or bad for a guy like Sanchez tonight?
I think for most pitchers, that's bad. But, I went back and looked at this. He hasn't faced a team back-to-back in either of the last 2 regular seasons. But if you remember, who did he face back-to-back in October? The Dodgers, right? Could they hit him in either game? They couldn't touch him in either one of those games. I just think he's one of those pitchers, because the changeup is so invisible, especially that pitch, and because the ball doesn't leave the ground much, he's somebody who might be immune to this. The changeup and the slider during this streak, the whiff rate against those 2 pitches is over 50%, meaning over 50% of the time when the opposing hitters swing at either of those 2 pitches, all they hit is air. And then when they put the sinker in play, the average launch angle against that pitch has been -2 degrees. So the ball's not in play. And when it is in play, it's almost never in the air. So that's how hard it is to score against this guy. He's amazing.
Yeah, he is amazing, and now he's the National League Pitcher of the Month. You and I were texting this morning. Could have gone to Mizorowski. You think Major League Baseball got it right?
I do, actually, because, history matters. And the fact that Cristopher Sanchez has done something that nobody has done, no other active pitchers, certainly, I think that's what carries the day here. Now, I do think it's closer than people in Philadelphia want to believe it is. Jacob Mizorowski in May only gave up 1 run, and he had the best whip of any starting pitcher in any month in history. Any month. And he had the lowest opponent slug of any pitcher in any month who pitched as much as he did. But, this is one time where, even though this is a guy who throws 100, he's done that over 200 times in the last month. This is one of those times when 0 is a bigger number than 100, right?
0 is a big number for him. All right, let's move on to another pitcher. You and I had a little conversation last night about this guy, Aaron Nola. Has he turned a corner in your eyes or no?
Okay, I'm still a little bit in wait and see mode. It's not that long ago that Aaron Nola was a guy who might go out and strike out 10 Mets in a row, right? So
that's true.
I don't know that he's back to that. Is he a guy who's back to being a reasonably consistent middle-of-the-rotation starter? I think we've definitely shown signs of that, right? Or he's shown signs of that. The one thing that it's impossible not to notice is he's gone significantly heavier knuckle curve, Ricky, and he's barely showing that four-seamer now. When he was at his worst, he was throwing that four-seamer 25, 30 times a game, and it was getting crushed. Last night, he threw that pitch only 15 times. Game before that, only 14 times. So I think he's figured out, and the pitching group has figured out, he cannot lean on that pitch with this ABS strike zone.
Jayson, I noticed last night, if you notice the first couple of hitters, he went with the four-seamer, and it wasn't going well. And he immediately changed after that.
Yeah, he just can't live with that pitch in the four-seam universe. And one thing about Aaron is he's very good at reading what's going right and what's going wrong. The one thing that I would be concerned about a little bit over these last two starts is it's 2 straight starts against the Padres, the worst hitting team in this league, and a team really light on left-handed bats. So it enables him to use that curveball when he's ahead in the count. He's been doing a much better job of getting ahead in the count. But let's see what happens going forward. The only thing I know is 18 strikeouts, no walks in 16 innings over his last 3 starts. That if you get that guy, he can pitch in a winning rotation.
We're talking to Jayson Stark of The Athletic. He joins us every single week. Now, Jayson, I don't want to do any athletic reporter on athletic reporter crime here, but your colleague Ken Rosenthal put out today that the Phillies could be interested in Tarik Skubal from the Detroit Tigers. Now, Ricky and I, when we heard that get floated last week, thought that's ridiculous because you just mentioned Cristopher Sanchez, Aaron Nola, Zach Wheeler, Andrew Painter, Jesus Luzardo. Why the hell would they be interested in Skubal? What are your thoughts about that?
Right. Well, I love Tarik Skubal. Guy I've talked to quite a bit, and he's special. He's a guy that other pitchers gravitate toward. He's a leader. He's a winner. He would change any team. So would the Phillies be in this? Of course they will. What does Dave Dombrowski love more than anything? Stars. So they had good pitching 2 years ago, and he chased Crochet at the deadline. So of course he'll call on Skubal. But I would look at it this way, guys. I don't know how we think this is realistic. It's going to be a very expensive price to pay in prospects. He's got over $10 million left at the deadline. He's coming off a surgery nobody ever had before. All that would make me think twice. And then, Bill, is what you just said. If you were ranking the Phillies' needs, where would starting pitching rank? It's got to be last, doesn't it? If you're going to give up, I don't know, Gage Wood or Dante Nori or both, would you give them up for 2 months of Tarik Skubal? Or would it be more for somebody like Byron Buxton, assuming he's even out there. How is that even a debate?
No, it's a right-handed bat. Now, when you threw out the name Byron Buxton being an outfielder, your other colleague at The Athletic, Matt Gell, wrote a tremendous article last week about how right-handed bats in the outfield have become an epidemic in all of Major League Baseball, not just for the Phillies. And I had a solution last week. Well, why don't you move Bryce Harper to the outfield and then find that right-handed bat at first base? And I think you're going to tell me I'm crazy.
It's not like there are a lot of right-handed bats at first base either, man. But at this point, Bryce is not going back to the outfield. I don't think that's even on the table. I know he volunteered to do it, but I think he's very invested in becoming as good a first baseman as he can be. And trying to find right-handed bats in this world, I don't think it's even a matter of like pinpointing a position anymore. Those guys just don't exist. Albert Pujols in his career had a 600 career slug and a 900 career OPS. And you know how many right-handed hitters are at 600 and 900 for the season right now? Zero. There's not one. It's hard to find anybody at any position who's even at 500, 900, let alone 600, 900. The guy they're chasing, the guy they need, that guy doesn't really exist. So if anybody pops out there who's a legit thumper, good luck trying to win that bidding war.
Jayson, I'm going to ask you a question about the Phillies lineup in a sense, but it's kind of a major league problem. I believe the major league average is about in between 239 and 241 right now.
Yeah.
What is going on? I understand pitchers are good. I get that. But the one thing that stands out to me is the strike zone is a lot bigger than when I played. Is that a fair thing to say?
It's definitely different than when you played, but it's smaller than it's been. There's been some studies on this. I think I talked to you guys about it a couple weeks ago. The average hitter's strike zone this year, because of ABS, is actually 3 inches smaller, almost all of it at the top. And so that's caused a lot of adjustments for a lot of guys, hitters and pitchers. And what you're seeing is, these pitchers now, they have so much information on every single hitter that the guys who are really thriving are pitchers who can attack in the zone, get swings and misses in the zone. And the stuff is so good. The velocity is so high. The unpredictability of what's coming has never been greater. The art of tunneling, where every pitch comes out of the same slot, is really confusing to hitters. So, is there stuff out there now that helps hitters? There's some, but the way this is trending is really dangerous for the sport. That the sport needs more balls in play. It needs a lower strikeout rate, and we're going the opposite direction. Yeah.
And that's what I'm talking about.
They're going to have to fix this on the other side of labor, man.
But how do you possibly fix that?
Nobody has that answer. There's nobody who has it. One thing that happened when they were experimenting with ABS is they messed with the strike zone in the minor leagues quite a bit, made it wider, made it tighter, made it higher, made it lower, made it higher at the knees, made it lower at the top, experimented every possible way that you could with that in mind. How can we get more balls in play? None of it helped. The only thing that I think could legitimately work, unless you're going to move back the mound, is you've got to figure out a way to incentivize teams to keep their starting pitchers in the game longer. Because this idea that every guy is now going to go out there and throw every pitch as hard as he can and every breaking ball max effort, and then as soon as he starts to tire, we're going to bring in the next fresh arm. That is one of the things that is driving this swing and miss rate. But if pitchers who started the game actually were in the game in the 8th and 9th innings because there's so much incentive to do it, then they've got to pitch. They've got to navigate. They can't go max effort. Jacob Mizorowski couldn't throw 50 pitches at 100. He's got to figure out a way to navigate his way through the game. So what is that thing that incentivizes it?
Go back to 5 or 6 relievers. That'll do it.
Yeah, right. You can't have a parade of bullpen and think you're going to ever get the strikeout rate under control.
Jayson, great stuff as always. I know where you'll be at 6:40 tonight, the same place all of us will be watching Cristopher Sanchez try to etch his name into the record books.
Can't wait to see where this goes. Hopefully we're talking about it next week, man.
Yeah, awesome. I hope so too, Jayson. Appreciate your time. We'll talk next week, brother.
Thanks, guys.
There he is. Always great stuff from our friend Jayson Stark of The Athletic. Make sure you're reading all of his stuff on The Athletic. He writes great articles as well. But, man, tonight is must-watch TV. How far can Cristopher Sanchez keep this going? I mean, 3 innings and he becomes in the top 3 of all time?
It is pretty cool. I mean, you're in another world right now. He's already in outer space right now. He's just in another world. And, to be called up there with Oral Hershiser's name, Don Drysdale, I mean, can you imagine? He's already said, like, he's thought about it, like how proud he is to be where he is right now. And I give him a lot of credit because it came from a lot of hard work. I mean, he wasn't like, hey, here's the ball. This is Cristopher Sanchez. He's going to be an ace. No, he worked his way to where he is, and he's just done he's taken tremendous strides every single year. And I love the fact that after he kind of became that ace, he didn't stop there. He wants to continue to be as great as he could be each and every time he goes out on the mound, and the proof is in the pudding now.
Yeah, and just remind me, because I'm trying to remember, who traded for Cristopher Sanchez? Do you remember who the GM was?
The Phillies did.
Was that Matt Clintock? Oh, yeah, it was Matt Clintock.
The Phillies did.
Oh, it was Matt Clintock. Jerk. All right, let's get our last What Movie Wednesday of the day. Remember, we're giving away 4 $50 gift cards to Geno's Steaks at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Satisfy your taste buds at Geno's Steaks at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia, where the legendary Philly cheesesteak experience meets the energy of the casino floor. We're doing breakup movies in honor of A.J. Brown. We've done 3 of them already. We did The Breakup. We did Forgetting Sarah Marshall. And we did The Wedding Singer. What will be the last one? Remember, the rules are simple. We'll play a clip of a movie. If you know it, text it to the Davis Honda text line, 610-632-0975. And if you get it right, you qualify for one of the 4 $50 gift cards. Here we go.
So I see you gang are new to the island. I want to come have a meet with you. I show you my boat. That is my boat there on the sandbar.
It's very, big.
Yeah, it's pretty good size. It's good size. So, tell me true. Are you guys for scuba?
What does that mean?
I'm like the unofficial scuba king of sandbar. So, if you are for scuba, I take you out on the boat. I show you the coral reef. We have kind of like a scuba party.
Ooh, does Ricky Bo know it? Text it in, 610-632-0975. Coming up, we'll give you the answer. We also have We Hear You, best voice messages of the day. Do not go anywhere. 97.5 The Fanatic, NBC Sports, Philadelphia.
Unfiltered. Ricky Bo, Bill Colarulo.
Philadelphia Sports Talk. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
This is Unfiltered with Ricky Bo and Bill Colarulo on 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
We just had your last What Movie Wednesday of the day. We're doing breakup movies. That one was Along Came Polly. Did you ever see that one, Sil?
Nope.
That's one of my favorites, Along Came Polly. That's a good one. Very good movie. Ben Stiller. Jennifer Aniston again. What is it with Jennifer Aniston in these breakup movies, Ricky Bo?
Yeah, I'm good at them.
She was like, just go with
Along
it.
Came Polly. It's not that hard.
Yeah, you just joined us, so you missed that we gave the answer.
Well, I just joined you because I couldn't get the new thing that I'm working. It was stuck on my back.
The new thing was stuck on your back.
My IFB was stuck. I couldn't get the wire plugged.
Your IFB?
Yeah,
he's dropping all these terms on us now.
Yeah, people don't know what an IFB is.
You do.
What is it, Sil?
Sil should know.
It's what is in your ear when you are doing TV.
Right,
what does it stand for?
It's a little hidden thing. Oh, gosh, don't ask me. I should know. I've worn an AFB before. IFB.
I would hope you did.
IFB. It stands for an interruptible foldback.
What?
Interruptible foldback.
Well, I don't know.
I like IFB better. It works for me.
Yeah.
It refers to the hidden earpiece worn by news anchors and TV hosts.
Yeah, it's not really that hidden. But.
By the way, Along Came Polly was a great movie.
Great movie, man.
And I will say, like, the star of the show was the ferret.
The ferret, her ferret?
Yeah.
Jennifer Aniston's? No, the star of the show, and God rest his soul, was Philip Seymour Hoffman. He's the friend who's like, raindrops!
Yes.
Remember? And then he's like, I'm really excited.
Let it rain!
He goes, I don't really think it's going to work out, but I'm rooting for you. Then he pours the grease onto his pizza. Remember, that's the best part.
That is right.
He was a great character.
When he does when he goes in and he's like, weren't you the kid from that movie?
Crocodile Tears.
Yes, I was.
He is the best character.
Van Loo, right?
Yeah, he plays Van Loo. Oh no, Van Loo is the guy they're trying to get insured.
Trying to get insurance for, yeah.
All right, I got to go back and watch that. It's one of my favorite.
That was a great movie.
All right, so we got into a lot on the show today, as always, talking about the Phillies lineup, Cristopher Sanchez, their biggest needs, but we were also talking about A.J. Brown, and if you're over the A.J. Brown conversation. So now as we enter the best voice messages of the day, a little thing we call We Hear You. I'm sure there's a lot of people giving their opinions on it. We Hear You, always brought to you by Rycor Heating and Cooling. If your home's running hot and cold, upgrade to a high-efficiency heat pump system and start saving every month. Schedule your free consultation online at RycorHVAC.com or call 1-855-MY-RYCOR and upgrade today. Rycor, we know how. What do we got?
Here we go.
97.5 The Fanatic has talked about A.J. Brown wanting to be traded for months. Now the trade happens, and now you don't want to talk about it anymore. Of course, fans that didn't believe it was going to happen are going to want to talk about it. I am not one of them, but I also say good riddance, A.J., but you can't expect the fans to not want to talk about AJ.
He was traded 2 days ago.
Yeah, to the caller's point, I mean, yes, we had been talking about it, and we had told you it was going to happen, and then it happened on June 1st, which was Monday, and then we reacted, and then we talked about it yesterday, and we reacted, and now we're here on day 3 since he's been traded, and we asked the question, are you over talking about A.J. Brown? 90% of people are saying yes.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that I'm mad at people for wanting to talk about it if that's what they want. It's just, it's got to the point now where we're listening to his press conferences in New England and reacting because he's telling people in New England that he's happy to be in New England. It's like, how dare he?
Well, it's
my point is that we have become the scorn lovers, and we should be better than that. He wanted to be traded. Let him go. We have a good team. Let's move on. I don't want to be nitpicking at everything he says to the New England media and losing our minds over it. To me, it's a waste of energy.
And I'm with you. I'm in the same boat. Look, this thing, you knew it was going to happen a long time ago. You have
Not everyone.
You have your reaction to it, and then once that reaction's over, it is over. I hate to tell you, one way or the other, whether you like it, you hate it, you love it, you leave it. He's not coming back.
They know that. It is just that they are exactly.
Who cares? He's gone.
People care. I will tell you why.
He's not an Eagle.
They know that.
Patriot.
They know that, but I'm saying that it is exactly like a scorn lover. Exactly how you can tell your friend who's still crying about her ex-boyfriend months later that there's
it's over it.
It's been 2 days for some people. They're going to have this reaction, and there's more information, so naturally they are going to nitpick.
What information are we talking about? The one person that sent out a tweet?
I'm not really
she's
referring
talking about,
to that.
She's talking about the rug in his house.
Yes.
Who cares?
That he always wanted to be in New England.
But you're not understanding. Just because you don't care, do not mean that fans who live, breathe, and die Philadelphia Eagles football and who have literally idolized this wide receiver and have gotten his jersey and are just completely fascinated with him. I'm saying that this does hurt like a relationship, like a breakup, because it's one thing to hear something's going to come, something's going to happen, and you think you're prepared for it. And then it happens and you're like, wow, I'm actually more irritated than I thought I would be.
What would you tell your friend that was scrolling her ex's social media?
I would say to get off of it.
Yeah, exactly. That's the advice I'm trying to give Eagles fans.
And here's
and
the
I
whole
agree.
Thing. All these little kids in the area are growing up Eagles fans. They have their Eagles carpets. They have their Eagles stuff on the wall. Some of them may grow up to be NFL stars and maybe an NFL quarterback. And guess what? They may get drafted by a different team. But you know where their heart's going to be? Somewhere else, right?
And I'm not saying that it is rational for everyone to really feel this way, but I think we all are victim to irrational feelings and being upset over things that we probably shouldn't be.
That's why we're called fans.
Exactly.
It means fanatics. I understand what Sill's saying, but I'm just trying to
I don't agree with
help Eagles fans. Like, not to overanalyze everything he says while he's in New England, because every single introductory press conference we've been a part of, when people come to our teams, they say similar things.
Exactly. You're right.
That's the point. But let's keep these rolling.
Come on, Bill. You should know better. You've been a lifelong Philadelphia fan. All the Negadelphians come out in full force when you don't want to be here. Ben Simmons, Cutter Gauthier, J.D. Drew, Terrell Owens. When you don't want to be here, we don't want you here. He was an open distraction since week 4. He never refuted the trade talks, neither did the Eagles. So we know he didn't want to be here. And Ricky, the reason why the hate is getting worse now is because the trade was finally made official. Some of it's going to subside, but then there's going to be a lot of people that still don't like him, and he's dead to them. Me, I don't care. Good luck in New England. I don't think you're the same player. Good riddance.
That's put in a good perspective there, though.
Yeah,
I get it. And Silvana said something similar earlier, Ricky, which is true. Although we've had all this time to process it because we knew it was coming, there was a lot of fans who either weren't paying attention or were intentionally ignoring the chatter because they didn't want to accept that it was true. And now that it's there, it's like, I guess to put it in the same kind of analogy that you were talking about with the ex, it's like you could be told, hey, you're getting cheated on. You're getting cheated on. You're getting cheated on. And then you catch that person cheating. It's a lot different.
Yes.
Even though you were told all those months. We've been trying to tell people, AJ wants to go to New England. It's going to happen. But now that they finally have seen it, it does sting. I get it.
That was a perfect analogy.
I get it.
Moving on.
All right, first off, you're really sitting here expecting us to believe anything out of Shady's mouth. Shady does nothing but change the narrative to suit himself, plain and simple. A lot of people have lost faith in Shady since he became Ocho's little buddy, who is also a known clown, number one. Number two, of course everybody's glad AJ's gone because we don't have to hear about it anymore. No, we're not going to take away what he did, but maybe we've all been in relationships, and we know sometimes after you get out of a relationship with somebody, past events start coming up in your head, and you start to realize things. Maybe that's where people are at. Bill, you're getting upset like you're best friends with the guy. You say you're not a Jalen hater, but you're getting this upset about people talking bad about A.J. Brown. So maybe you are a Jalen hater just undercover. Just saying.
A lot of people making their relationship analogies.
Right?
Listen, I just am having a hard time ripping AJ when, and again, maybe it's because I know too much from behind the scenes, but based off of everything that the people who play with the guy have said, and people who have coached the guy, and people in the Eagles front office have said, they don't talk negatively about AJ. So we could spin it any way we want based off of what we've seen. That's fine. You're using your own eyes. But I'm just telling you, based off of what people say down there, he's not a bad teammate. And he didn't quit on his team. And he wasn't a distraction. And he wasn't just a me guy. And look, you said Shady McCoy. I was referring to Shady McCoy talking about how the massage therapist thing wasn't true. I'm not using Shady to say AJ was a good teammate. But like even Darius Slay, I mean, he's quote tweeting a video of me saying, hey, anyone who's ever played with AJ said he's a good teammate. Darius Slay quote tweeted it and said, facts. Who's saying otherwise? So I'm just telling you, base it off of what the guys who play with him say. We're all saying, oh, he's a bad teammate. The guys who play with him aren't saying that, Ricky. They would know better than us.
Yeah, they don't seem as upset as everybody else is. Why? Why is that?
Well, they understand it's a business, too.
Yeah, go ahead. Put that into perspective. They don't seem that... They're not crying over spilt milk. Sorry, you pissed me off.
did?
Who
It
pissed
was
you off?
probably me.
Somebody got him angry.
It was probably.
Or maybe the, what is it called that's
the
in his ear?
IFB.
Maybe the IFB's going to your head a little bit.
Yeah, maybe it's telling you secrets. Telling you things.
Maybe you shouldn't have the IFB.
Yeah.
All right, what else we got?
I wanted A.J. Brown gone when he first refused to speak to the media. He was a good player, but a cowardly personality. He's definitely not Philly material, and I'm so glad he's gone.
Oh, man.
Wow.
Come on.
That sounds like fighting words.
Now, I will say this to that caller's point. I never liked when AJ would stop talking to the media, because if you are a leader and you are a captain, part of that responsibility is being the voice to the media so other guys don't have to be the ones answering questions. And when AJ stopped talking to the media, what happened? Not only do other people have to answer questions, they're being asked, why isn't AJ talking to the media? What's going on with AJ Brown? I always disliked that. I did dislike that element. And I know what AJ was. Well, if you don't have anything nice to say, yeah, but as a leader and a captain, you really should be the one that's out there talking to the media so that other guys don't have to do it. So that I'll agree with that caller. See, I'm not an A.J. Brown best friend. We got one more?
One more.
All right, let's squeeze it in.
Now, this one says that it's a Patriots fan. Let's see.
I am a Patriots fan, and I just wanted to talk about the A.J. Brown thing for a minute. Great Eagle. I'm very excited that he's going to be a Patriot. A little bit worried about his knee, but I think it's going to work out for everybody. That, the first and fifth round pick are going to be great for the Eagles, and A.J. hopefully will help the Patriots get back to the Super Bowl, and everything's going to be fine.
Because know how I feel about all Boston teams.
Yeah, I don't want to end with that, but I guess we have to.
Well, that's the way you ended it, dummy.
Well, that's the last one. I didn't know it was a New England fan.
Blame Nate for putting it in.
Yeah, we got.
What are you worried about? Who cares?
We got Nate and Addison back there.
Here we go again. You can't handle it that there's a Patriots fan that we don't like anyways. So what's the difference?
Yeah, so we got Nate and Addison letting Patriots fans on the air,
right?
All right, so here's what we got coming up next, Ricky Bo.
Yeah,
we got to announce our What Movie Wednesday winners. So
That's
4 people
job.
are winning $50. We got our final Twitter poll results to see if people truly are over talking about A.J. Brown. And then we're going to make our predictions tonight. Not only unfiltered home run predictions.
Somebody hit last night.
Yes, you did. I'll give you updated standings on that. How many innings does Cristopher Sanchez go tonight scoreless? We'll get to that as well coming up next. Unfiltered, 97.5 The Fanatic, NBC Sports, Philadelphia.
Unfiltered, Ricky Bo, Bill Colarulo.
Philadelphia Sports Talk. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Unfiltered with Ricky Bo and Bill Colarulo. 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
All right, we're coming down the home stretch on this What Movie Wednesday. We were doing breakup movies today in honor of our breakup with A.J. Brown, which is starting to feel more and more like an actual breakup. The way a lot of fans are reacting to it, it does in fact feel like scorned lovers a little bit. Like when you knew the person was bad for you, you knew they were cheating on you, but then when you finally see it and you see him in that Patriots uniform and you hear him singing New England's praises, you can see how fans are reacting to it. We've been trying to tell people, don't let it get to you. Like, move on. Who cares? He's in New England. You're here. You still got a good team. You still got a good offense. Turn the page.
Find a new better half.
So, yeah, find a new better half. And his name is Devontae Smith.
There you go.
I think Devontae's going to have a monster year, dude. I do. I think Jalen's going to have a big year. I think Devontae's going to have a big year. And we're all going to be looking at it saying, AJ who?
Yeah, but it's not
Artie
surprising, is it? That wouldn't surprise me, not even a little bit. I mean, the one thing that is that he can catch a football. He's not afraid, and he can be a number one. He's been there, done that, with his number 2 being Quez Watkins. I think he's going to be a little better off this year.
Quez Watkins.
It was.
Yeah, I know. It was terrible. If Quez Watkins catches that pass in Super Bowl 57, they probably win it. All right, 5 o'clock hour was brought to you by who, Silvana?
This hour brought to you by The Bagster. Dumpster in a bag. Get yours today at Home Depot and Lowe's. For details, go to Bagster.com.
Good job, Ricky.
So take that A.J. Brown jersey if you want, if you're one of those scorned lovers, and throw it right in the Bagster. it's a dumpster in a bag and we can move on. And the question we asked on the Twitter poll today, are you over talking about A.J. Brown? Because we're over it. We're trying to turn the page. Let's see where the masses weighed in. The Twitter poll stood strong for 4 hours, performing like an all-star. Thanks to Dr. Avidan Appel of Iron Mountain Men's Health. What do we got as the final numbers?
Wow, are you over talking about A.J. Brown? Now up to the highest it's been all day. 91% say yes, 9% saying no.
Man, I predicted 90% before we posted the poll. So let's hope. Let's hope. Now, look, we'll have to talk a little bit about what the loss of A.J. Brown means for the Eagles offense. That's fine. I'm just over watching everything he now does in New England and reacting to it. I get it yesterday. It's still fresh. The wound is still fresh. But here we are now, a few days later. I think it's time. Let's focus on the Eagles now and no longer worry about the wide receiver wearing number 1 in New England. And Ricky Bo's right there with me. And we got bigger fish to fry, my man. We got Cristopher Sanchez going for a record tonight. So right now, Ricky, 44 2/3 scoreless, 7th all time. If he puts up 3 scoreless innings, he moves into the top 3. If he can get through 6 scoreless innings, that would put him over 50 as he would get ready to go for the record. Drysdale, 58, is number 2, and Hershiser, 59 straight, number 1 from 1988. Do you think the streak continues tonight, or does it end?
I think it does. I know you don't. I think he kind of had ownership of these Padres last time he faced them. He knows the guys that can be dangerous, and I think he knows he's got to be a little careful with certain guys, and he will be. You know what? I know what he's doing is close to impossible, or else you would look down, there would be names up and down this list. There's not a lot of names above him right now, and he could see through the clouds. So, I mean, it's just one of those things. If he goes out and has a good one here, puts up 6 score, let's say he puts up 6 scoreless, man, you are literally knocking on the door. And I give him all the credit in the world. He's gone through this without even a hiccup.
He's been tremendous.
He has been tremendous. And you know what? And I love the joy that he's taking with him. That's the thing that kind of gets me. He's not taking this as like a impossible challenge. He's taking it as like, this is fun. And I want to do this. And I want to pitch my way up into the record books. And he's done a fantastic job. I mean, even if it breaks, even if it stops tonight, you got to be proud of the way this guy's thrown.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Vegas odds. Padres total runs tonight. The over-under is 2.5. So if you take under 2.5, it's plus 110. Over 2.5 is minus 140.
So they think over.
So they think this is going over 2.5.
But that does not include, I mean, that's
just
not
Sanchez.
Just Sanchez.
It could be the bullpen as well. Look, I hope I'm wrong. I wouldn't bet against Cristopher Sanchez, but to ask him to go even more scoreless innings tonight, an entire start without giving up a run, man, that's tough to ask, especially in this weather, in this ballpark. Granted, the Padres stink. If I had to pick, I would say he probably gives up a run tonight, but man, I hope I'm wrong, and I hope this continues to go. It is must-watch TV tonight. Now, the Phillies over on runs tonight, 4.5. Now, I told you they have not scored more than 4 runs since May 18th, and the over is 4.5. Maybe the bats come alive for the Phils tonight. Let's talk about our home run predictions then while we're at it. So after last night's prediction, Ricky Bo solidifies himself in second place. You got 10 points. I'm sitting in first place with 12 points and a distant third. Silvana with 5 points. So Silvana gets to make the first home run prediction tonight. And don't go anywhere. We got our What Movie Wednesday winners coming up, so let's make it quick.
Okay, I'm going to go with Bryce Harper for another one.
Harper is a plus 440 tonight. Sil's got Harper at a plus 440. Ricky Bo.
I'm taking the lock.
Yeah, I can't believe
Schwarber.
She left him. I can't believe you left him. Schwarber, plus 290 tonight. And then for some reason, this doesn't make sense to me, the guy who's hitting 193
Adolis
has the third best odds tonight. Adolis Garcia. I'm going with Adolis the Swollest, I guess. He's got to hit one, right?
Don't fall for it.
He's a plus 570. That's the third best odds tonight. So I'll take Adolis the Swollest. So Ricky's got Kyle Schwarber plus 290. Sill's got Harper at a plus 440, and I got Adolis at a plus 570. All right, it was What Movie Wednesday. We did breakup movies in honor of our breakup with A.J. Brown, and we had a great prize today. 4 $50 gift cards, courtesy of Gino Steaks at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Satisfy your taste buds where the legendary Philly cheesesteak experience meets the energy of the casino floor. Enjoy thinly sliced ribeye steak stacked on a classic long roll for that unmistakable Philly bite. Go classic with Whiz, smooth with provolone, or bold with American. Your cheesesteak, your rules. From South Philly streets to Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia, Gino Steaks continues its legacy as one of the city's most iconic food destinations. Here are our winners. Each one of you getting $50 to Gino's at Live Casino. Tyler from Petersburg. Jonah from Philly. Robert from Womelsdorf. Never heard of it before.
Nope.
And Joanna from Brigantine, New Jersey. Congratulations to all of our winners. All right, Ricky Bo, you getting ready for Phillies pregame live?
Yep, pregame live.
You and Michael Barkan?
Yeah, me, Barkan, and Ben Davis is here tonight.
And Big Ben Davis. Hopefully you guys will be celebrating another scoreless outing by Cristopher Sanchez. We'll be back at it tomorrow, everybody, on the TV side. Phillies pregame live on the radio side. Best of Kincaid and Salchunas, Middays with Marks, and, of course, Unfiltered. Have a great night. We'll talk to you tomorrow.